Alright YouTube, it is the Bat Nerd and I am back with another video for you. And now that I've seen Shazam, I thought it'd be great to re-rank all of the DCEU movies in the DCEU. So, all of this is my personal opinion. No one has to agree with it. If you have your own opinion, let me know down in the comments below. So, there are 7 movies in the DCEU, so let's get started. So, coming in at number 7, it is Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. This had the potential to be a good movie, but it was a mess. You know, it was rushed, and yeah, the whole plot with them being enemies to me didn't make sense. I mean, it's like first they're enemies, then the second they have their mothers have the same name, Martha. You know, they're all of a sudden friends. Yeah, I felt that was a bit stupid, and yeah, it was rushed and it was a mess. And this had a 3-year gap between that and Man of Steel, and the finished product just didn't do it for me. You know, it was, but it had great. But for me, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman stole the show, and when she was getting her own solo movie, I was looking forward to that, and I was so right when I look forward to this, because it was a good movie, Wonder Woman. Get to that a little later. But yeah, the villain, Doomsday, yeah, and, Jesse Eisenberg, completely miscast as Lex Luthor. If he's coming back in a future DCEU movie, I hope he does better. So, coming in at number 7, it is Suicide Squad. So, this, again, had the potential to be a good movie, and this just, again, was a rushed mess. First of all, the trailer was misleading. It looked like it was going to be a good movie, and it was a bit of a mess. I mean, Will Smith is Deadshot, Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn, Jared Leto is the Joker. It looked good. But then we find that the Joker... I'm going to have to tone down my voice a bit because I'm getting a bit sore throat with this kind of voice. So, yeah, I'm toning it down a bit. Justice League... Suicide Squad. Yeah, again, it was just a rushed movie, and it was a mess, and Jared Leto, he had a lot of scenes that were cut from this movie, and even he too was pissed off about it. And I thought Jared Leto looked good as the Joker, but his character just didn't have enough development, I thought. That's because he got a lot of his scenes cut, and I thought, they wasted a good opportunity there, and they made the villain Enchantress. I don't know what was with her. I mean, I think she was, again, underdeveloped, and yeah, I can't really remember that much about her motivation and stuff. Yeah, Suicide Squad could have been a lot better, and they got James Gunn involved now, working on a sequel reboot. I think they should reboot it. Try Suicide Squad again in the DCEU. So number 6, Suicide Squad. Number 5, Justice League. Again, I thought this was a great movie. Back to just Suicide Squad. I liked the little references, the cameos from Batman, and and the Flash. That was it. Okay, number 5, Justice League, and again, this one had the potential to be a good movie, but it was just rushed. I mean, getting the villain Steppenwolf. I didn't get his motivation in this. Apparently stealing free cubes to take over the world. Yeah, I didn't really understand much about the character Steppenwolf. He was so poorly done and underdeveloped, and was badly CGI'd, I thought. Yeah, I just didn't like that villain. And for a portion of the movie, we didn't have Superman because he was dead, and he had a terribly CGI'd out mustache, which was so noticeable, and he couldn't afford to shave that off, because if he did, it meant pushing back the release of Mission Impossible Fallout. Henry Cavill did better than that. Mission Impossible Fallout. Yeah, they had a good cast. Justice League, I thought, but I just don't think they took the time to, get it right. So, yeah, Justice League, number 5. See, these team-up movies, I say DC have not yet got that worked out. Up to now, I feel like they rushed it a lot with the solo movies to build up for Justice League, and that is why we got, well, a mess. Okay, coming in at number 4, it is Man of Steel, where it all began. I like this one. I thought it was a great way to reboot Superman. And, I thought that, Henry Cavill was good. Kevin Costner was good. This movie was good. It had great action sequences and a great finale where Superman fights General Zod. But the pacing, I gotta say, was slow. It was a slow-burning movie, and at some points I did get bored watching, and I was not in a rush to see this again anytime soon, but I have seen it more than once. Yeah, it was just a slow movie, and, they greatly developed Clark Kent, Kal-El, Superman. I thought Russell Crowe was great as Jor-El. The cast was good, but I just don't think the pacing and the story was. But when it got to the action, it was a good, action part. It was half the action and that, it just, yeah, like I say, it was its first movie though, so, it was just getting into its own, starring the DCEU. Okay, so at number 3, it is the newly released Shazam. Yes, as I said in my review, I enjoyed this movie. It was fun, it was actiony, it was energetic, and it wasn't dark like all the other movies in the DCEU have been. This one had some light to it, some energy and fun, and, I think it was, a good call for the DCEU, and I enjoyed it. So, yes, Shazam. I like the comedy in this. I like the character of Billy Batson, how he turns into a 30-something-year-old man just from saying Shazam. That wasn't meant to rhyme, and, yeah, I enjoyed Shazam. I would happily see it again. So, yes, number 3, Shazam. Number 2, it is Wonder Woman. Now, before Aquaman, this was my most favorite DCEU movie. I thought the story was great, the effects were great, the music was just great. Gal Gadot, so great. Chris Pine, great support. This had everything I loved in a DC movie. It took a while for the DCEU to get going, but Wonder Woman, I have to say, saved it for me. It took a few attempts, but this, I feel, is when the DCEU really started to take off, and my god, it did, and I loved it. I loved Wonder Woman so much, and I've watched it multiple times. I've even added it to my collection. It's just a great movie, and I can't recommend that enough. I love Gal Gadot. I'm a little disappointed that Wonder Woman, the sequel, 1984, has been pushed back to June, to my birthday next year. But I'm sure it'll be okay. I'm sure that, they delayed the release just to get it right and improve it. It did wrap in late 2018, but yeah, I hope it's going to be a good sequel. So at number 1, I'm sure you know what it is because it's the only one I've not mentioned. It is Aquaman. Yes, Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, and, Willem Dafoe, Patrick Wilson, Nicole Kidman. Great cast and great effects. I have never seen a superhero movie quite like Aquaman. And it was underwater some of the time. When they were underwater, they could speak, and I thought that was amazing. Amazing effects in this. James Wan directed this movie brilliantly, and yeah, he was great. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know how they couldn't I don't know where they could have gotten a better director. James Wan is good. He's good for doing horror, but I think he did this one just as good. He did it justice, and I thought James Wan, brilliantly directed this. Jason Momoa was great as Aquaman. I wasn't too keen on him in Justice League, but in his solo outing, he was fantastic. Amber Heard too. She was gorgeous in this. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and it brought one of my favorite DC foes, Black Manta, and they're saving him. I think he didn't get a lot of screen time because they're saving him for a possible sequel, and I really do hope we get a sequel. But Aquaman had great effects, great lighting, great cinematography, great color, great everything, and I enjoyed it so much it didn't feel like the 2 hours it was on for. I'm not sure exactly how many 2 hours, but it was definitely on just over 2 hours, and it was great. I enjoyed it, and I've watched it multiple times. I haven't got it on DVD yet, but I probably will. But yeah, I will see it again. I've seen it twice in theaters, and yeah, great Aquaman. So yes. So yeah, there we go. So there we are, my DCEU movies ranked from best to worst. Let me know down in the comments below. How would you rank these movies? Do you agree with my opinion? Let me know all that down in the comments below. We start a discussion, maybe. I don't know. All of my social media links are down below in the description. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and to share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and to hit that notification bell. I have been the Bat Nerd, and yeah, that's it for this video. So until next time, Bat Nerd out.